Hi guys, it's Teresa, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a video that I've seen a lot on BookTube previously, and I really enjoy this type of video because you just get a lot of good recommendations for things, and it's if you enjoyed this book, then you might also enjoy this other book. So I have found, I think, about like 5 pairings to share with you today. So let's just jump right into it. And there's like the span is pretty big. So we have like YA, we have adult, contemporary, a little bit more. We have fantasy, we have literary fiction. We've kind of got everything. So let's just dive right into it. So the first pairing I want to talk about is a contemporary one, and it is Remember Me by Sophie Kinsella paired with What Alice Forgot by Liane Moriarty. I have talked about these two authors a lot recently, particularly also these two books, because I just read What Alice Forgot, and the plot is pretty much the same. So in Remember Me by Sophie Kinsella, we follow a 25-year-old who has a pretty boring life, but then one day she wakes up and realizes it is actually 3 years in the future, and she has just kind of forgotten the past 3 years, and her life seems perfect, except that it is not. And What Alice Forgot, it's quite the opposite actually. So we have this 39-year-old woman who bumps her head in a gym and forgets the past 10 years of her life. All she remembers is being pregnant with her first child and being newly married and super in love. But at 39, she's actually in the middle of a divorce and has already got 3 children and has completely forgotten everything. She seems to have alienated all the most important people in her life. And so she's just trying to figure out what the hell happened. So both of these books are pretty enjoyable. I have read this one obviously the most recently, and Remember Me has been a while, but if you enjoy this type of premise, I definitely recommend to check out one or the other depending on which you've already read. I would recommend What Alice Forgot over Remember Me just because I think Liane Moriarty is a bit more of an accomplished and more well-rounded writer, but I think this one is also quite fun, so definitely check it out if you enjoyed What Alice Forgot. Next I have a pairing that is a little bit hard to do because I haven't actually finished the second book yet, but I'm in the middle of it, and I think premise-wise and just everything-wise it definitely works. So my recommendation would be, if you really enjoyed The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller, which a lot of people did and do because it's fantastic, I recommend you also check out Fire from Heaven by Mary Renault. The Song of Achilles is a retelling of the myth of Achilles, obviously, whereas Fire from Heaven is actually historical fiction following the life of Alexander the Great. But it's also set in ancient Greece, and so there's a lot of talk of ancient gods. They mention Achilles a lot. There's actually quite a lot of mentions of this particular myth, so I found that really interesting. I also just really like hearing about ancient Greek life, and both of these have a male-male romance type situation going on. There's not much of that has happened in this book quite yet. It's very similar in vibe, even though you definitely need to know a little bit more about ancient Greece history for this one to fully enjoy it. I hope to get to finishing this soon so I can give you a full review of it and tell you what I actually think of the book as a book. But if you enjoyed The Song of Achilles, I definitely recommend just checking this book out to see if you might be interested in reading it as well. A little bit more on the lighthearted side, we have some YA contemporaries. And if you enjoyed The Girls by Emma Cline, I recommend checking out My Favorite Manson Girl by Alison Umminger. Both of these books deal with Marilyn Manson and the Manson family and the Manson murders and that type of thing, while this book actually talks about a girl that gets indoctrinated and becomes a part basically of the cult and takes part in the murders. My Favorite Manson Girl is definitely set in a contemporary time period, and it follows this girl that goes to LA and starts doing some more research on the Manson murders, and it's more about her figuring out her life. And the Manson murders do play a part, but it's not as prominent as in this one. But if it's something that you enjoy, sorry my dog is barking, if it's something that you enjoy, I definitely recommend giving both of them a try. Second to last, with a pairing of 2 of my favorite YA fantasies, and there's nothing too similar with them in terms of plot, but just the feeling I had when reading them was very similar, and the enjoyment, and I feel like there's just a similar type of YA fantasy novel, so if you enjoy one, I think chances are pretty good that you'll also enjoy the other. And for this I'm talking about Stolen Songbird by Danielle L. Jensen and The Dark Days Club by Alison Goodman. Stolen Songbird follows a girl called Cecil who is being abducted by trolls because she has to marry their prince to save the troll kingdom. And The Dark Days Club is about Helen, Lady Helen, who figures out that she has demon fighting powers, and so she needs to protect London from the incoming demons. So both of these have kick-ass female characters. They don't have like too insta-lovey of a romance type, more of like a hate to love, which I personally really enjoy. They're really well written, they're really fun, and if you have a similar reading taste to me and you have read one of these, I'm pretty sure you will also enjoy the other. And finally, for a little bit of a three-way, I've actually got 3 books that I think are very similar in tone, in genre, in writing, maybe in parts, and also in like the message, I guess, that they have. And so if you enjoyed The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood, I would recommend for you The Power by Naomi Alderman, as well as Red Clocks by Lenny Zumas. All 3 of these I would consider feminist dystopians, and they're pretty well written. I feel like my favorite of these is definitely The Handmaid's Tale, and The Power was fine, and The Red Clocks is probably my least favorite. I can't really tell. But I did recently just film an individual review for Red Clocks, so I will link it in the cards for you to check out. I didn't love all of these the same, but I still think that they have the same target audience. They deal with very similar feminist issues, like The Handmaid's Tale obviously is very famous, and in The Power, women suddenly start developing physical abilities that actually make them stronger than men, so now they are kind of taking over society. And in Red Clocks, the dystopian aspect is that a law has been implemented in the US making abortions and IVF treatments illegal, and it's just about women kind of dealing with that issue. So yeah, I definitely think that these fall into the same category. They definitely mentioned in conjunction with one another all the time, and I think if you enjoy, like really enjoy one of these, I recommend checking out the others as well. And that is it for this really quick recommendations video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you found some new inspirations as to what to read. Let me know in the comments if you have any other like similar pairings that you would like to share, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for new videos every Tuesday and Friday. In the meantime, head on over here and watch some other videos that I recently did, and I will see you then. Have a lovely week. Bye! And the rooster's crying. Perfect time.